it's Maryam. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I wanted to talk about negative comments towards gray hair. I transitioned almost 6 years ago, to be exact, 5.5 years ago. And in the beginning especially, I got a lot of negative comments. I've never addressed negative comments about gray hair. And I know that a lot of you might be going through your transition and you might be coming across people or comments that are not as pleasant. I just wanted to tell you how to overcome it. Maybe this video will help you overcome those comments. It was really hard for me. 2014 is when I started transitioning to gray hair. And the reason why I transitioned, just a little backstory, is because I was allergic to hair color, permanent hair color, and the ammonia and all the chemicals would burn my scalp. Literally would burn my scalp. And I had the worst scalp. And every month I was doing the same damage over and over and over and this went on for 20 years. So I stopped. I was 42. My daughter was 5 years old. 5, 6 years old. And she was still young. I was taking her to kindergarten at the time, or first grade, kindergarten. And first I remember the parents, the moms, looking at me a different way. And I couldn't really put my hand on it. Like, why are they looking at me different because I have growing roots? Like, what is with that? That kind of made me a little bit self-conscious about my gray hair. But I covered it with hats and hair bands and oh my gosh, I tried to cover it up as much as I could for the first 3 months. After 4 months, it was ridiculous. I mean, I have so much gray hair. There's no way of hiding it. I had to wear hats all the time. So I figured, let me bleach my hair blonde and get rid of the black that's on the tip. Maybe that would kind of ease the transition. So I did that. So the first thing I recognized was the looks. I went to a grocery store one day. This guy, maybe in his late 20s, minding his own business. I'm minding my own business. I'm taking my daughter. We got our groceries. We were going to the car. And all of a sudden, he's like, "Hey, little girl, is that your grandma?" I'm like, first of all, mister, in my head, I'm thinking this in my head. First of all, mister, why are you talking to my little girl? Second of all, it's none of your business. I didn't say anything. I just looked at him and I just walked away. I mean, at the time, I was really offended. He called me a grandma and I'm like, obviously, I look younger. I mean, if I had a child when I was 20 and she was 20 or he was 20 and had a kid, I would be a grandma. So, I mean, did he have to make that comment? No. Was it necessary? No. Did it benefit anyone? No. But it took some time for me to work it out. I'm like, okay, this guy is a stranger, complete stranger. Don't let a complete stranger mess with your head. And so this is what I want you to remember. If someone tells you, a stranger comes out and gives you a weird comment like that about your gray hair, think about it this way. In your head, say, you don't matter in my life. The people outside of your world doesn't matter. They don't matter. It doesn't matter what they think. This is your life. This is your hair. This is your situation. And the only thing you have to think about is, are the people around you, surrounding you, are they supportive and loving and caring and understanding where you're coming from? And if the closest ones to you don't understand, sometimes you can't tell them in any way to make them understand. You just have to do you and live your best life and show them that this is the best decision for you. It's like your parents want you to go to college, but then you say, no, you're not going to college. And then you end up doing something that turns out to be amazing because you knew in your mind that that was the right thing for you. It's more accepted for a woman to color their hair. That's just how the world is. Even now, even today, 2020, I'm doing this video. Even today, there are people that are like, why did you do that? What is your explanation? And I'm telling you, the older women have the most issue with women letting their gray grow. You know, why did you do that? You're too young. Anyway, and everybody has an opinion. So my comeback on this is like, what don't you like about it? Why is that upsetting to you that I have gray hair? It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Why does my gray hair offend you? And I found out why. Because it's about them. They would come back, not in public. They wouldn't admit that they were wrong in public, but they would email me, DM me, and say, oh, I have a lot of gray hair too, and I wish that I could let my hair grow out like you did. I was like, this is it. That is exactly why people are being mean. Explains it all. It's because of them. It's not because of you. Their negative comments and their hate is coming from them. It's in their heart. It has absolutely nothing to do with you and your life and your path. Because they're not you. They're not in your shoes. They're not walking your path. They have no clue how it's like not to color their hair. It's almost like they're envious. They want to stop, but they don't know how. And so their comeback is, oh, that looks gross. Oh, that looks awful. Why did you let it go? Why did you let your hair go gray? Why don't you color it? And when I would explain to you, hey, this is a medical situation. When I color my hair, I suffer. And who are you to say how anyone is supposed to be? You have no right to say. You have no right to question anyone for what they're doing. That's their choice. That's what they want to do. It's who they are, who they want to be, who they are. Let them be. It's a big world. You don't like it? Look away. Another comment, like, it was about 8 months transitioning. Or was it more? I don't know. It wasn't less than a year. I was sitting in a breakfast place with my husband. We went out. We dropped off Ariana to school. And then we went for breakfast together because we want to spend time together and have breakfast and go out. This lady, this older lady, she must have been in her late 50s, maybe 60s, sitting with 3 of her friends. And she was sitting with her husband or boyfriend, whoever, and 2 other, a woman and a man, older gentlemen and older women in their 50s and 60s, her age. Eric and I weren't talking. We were having conversation. All of a sudden, there was a gap. We stopped talking. And all of a sudden, I overhear that lady say, look at that lady. She looks like a witch. My mind I just couldn't believe it. And the 2 friends that were facing the other way, they couldn't see me, they turned around to look at me. And I was like, what the hell? Why would you say something like that to someone? You have no idea who they are. I got really hurt. I must say, that really hurt my feelings. I'm sitting with my husband having a date breakfast, and for someone to say that, I was so mad. I was thinking, wow, how rude and pathetic must someone feel or be to make that kind of a comment to a complete stranger. If you have something to say, let it be productive. Let it be informative, productive, life-changing. A comment like that is just awful and hurtful. And so don't listen to those people. They don't know what they're talking about. You're going to be okay. And those comments are just foolish and they don't matter. Only the people around you that love you matter. Even your loved ones may not be on board. And that's okay too. You just have to let them know that this is the best decision for me. And, I need to do this for myself. And if they love you, and they will understand because they love you and they want the best for you. And what's best for you is you being happy. And if that makes you happy, then do what makes you happy. Transitioning to gray hair is not easy. It's a mental battle in your head. You always have that box on your mind, especially the first few months that you're transitioning. You want to call your salon. You want to go buy another box of dye. And you may even stop coloring your hair, fully transition after a year and a half and decide, this is not for me. I'm going to go back to hair color. And that is fine too. No one can say how you should be, what you should wear, if you should color your hair or not, you should wear makeup or not. It's your decision. Do what makes you happy. If this is on your mind to go gray, don't be afraid. Just do it and see how you feel about it. You know, you might be just sick of the cost. You might be sick of the coloring process. You know, might just be tired of putting chemicals on your head. I mean, let's think about that for a second. Those are chemicals that are going on our heads, and they're being soaked and absorbed into our skin for 45 minutes to an hour before we actually get that color. And then you have the other extreme where they call you brave for not coloring your hair. I got that a lot. You are so brave. I wish I was brave like you to embrace my gray hair. Brave? There are people dying in the world facing diseases. They're facing wars. Those people are brave. Not somebody who decides not to color their hair. That is not bravery. That's a choice. That's just something you want to do. I just don't understand that comment. Not coloring your hair doesn't mean you're brave. It just means you made a choice to stop putting chemicals on your hair. You just wanted to stop because you were allergic to hair color, or you're battling cancer and you're done with those chemicals. This is not about bravery. It's not about bravery. It's just a choice you make. I just want to encourage you to just stay on board. If you're transitioning to gray hair, just keep going with it. And don't be discouraged. On Facebook, there are gray hair groups that can help you if you're going through any challenges throughout your transition, if you have questions, if you have struggles that you want to share in a safe place. Become part of those Facebook groups to get support there. I just hope that this video helps you and helps you with your transition. And if you know anyone that is going through the gray hair transition, if this will help them, please forward this video to them. Maybe, hopefully, they can get some comfort in my words. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video is helpful to you. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.